Convo. My name is Sherelle Desire, owner and designer of S Desire Brand, a luxury loungewear lifestyle brand. Here at Cocktails and Convo is where you sit, shop, socialize, and slay. We talk about elevation here, spirituality, lifestyle, mental health, all of the things, girl talk, everything that you can imagine is going to be here on Cocktails and Convo. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for subscribing to our channel. Hey to all the new subbies. We are excited to grow here on YouTube. We started Cocktails and Convo over on Instagram, and now we are officially here on YouTube. So thank you so much for tuning in. Cheers. Today I am doing a mocktail of a green juice. This is a green juice consisting of cucumbers, celery, ginger, pineapple, and mint. So we're still doing our alcohol-free episodes, but soon we will be doing a cocktail episode with a recipe. So make sure y'all stay tuned. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you share this out to your friends, family, and foe. And yeah, let's get into some things. We are now on part 3 of our fabulous transformation segment here at the channel. We just pretty much blocked it off in episodes, parts of the episode, because it was a lot that I had to detail, and I didn't want it to be like too drawn out, especially since we're so new here on YouTube. So we're just doing parts and pieces, and thank you for tuning in. And yeah, so we left off at 2023. I told you ladies that I lost my dog. She passed away with me July 2023 on my birthday, and I was in the midst of transforming myself. And I could have stopped everything I was trying to do, stopped all my intentional work, but I didn't. And I was telling that story to tell you that you can have all the excuses in the world, but when you are truly committed, you are going to stay on your walk. And that's what it's about. I wasn't chasing body size. I wasn't chasing vanity measures. I wasn't chasing any of the shallow things that I think that we have been conditioned to chase. I was more so chasing my best self. And that's what I'm here to tell my story, is because that mindset shift will help you elevate. Elevating in order to chase a vanity measure is not sustainable. And when we constantly get into the cycle of, trying to do better for ourselves, and then we fall off because either the results didn't come quick enough, or we get distracted, or any of those things, those are the major factors on why we may lose ourselves or get knocked off of our path. So it was important for me to tell you ladies all of the details of my backstory, because it's important to know that once I made that mindset shift, any of those disruptive things that you will be approached with, those disruptive things that will make you fall off of your journey, that is no longer important. It's no longer powerful enough to get me off of my game, because I changed my mindset where it's deeper. It's deeper than just a quick fix. It's deeper than just trying to appease somebody else. It was more so for me to raise my vibration as a woman and to show a better version of myself. And it was personal. It was personal. It wasn't something that I wanted to sit and document every day for other people to digest. Even if I was documenting it, I was documenting it for myself and for my own self-preservation. It wasn't to like, oh, let me shoot. No, it was personal. This was personal. It was so much going on in my life, and I knew God was trying to get my attention. And this is where we're going to transition into the spiritual aspect of the transformation, because I was being hit with sudden loss, losing my sister, losing my niece, losing my dog. And it was like all of these things was crumbling. And not only that, I was getting hit with financial stuff, family stuff, anything that can go wrong went wrong. I think the only thing that didn't go wrong is my love life, and that's because that was that was even an issue. Like that wasn't even existing. Like that's the only reason why I wasn't even that. One thing I can say, especially if you're a single woman, if you're trying to elevate yourself, do not put dating in the midst of that. That's probably the worst thing you do in the middle of your transformation is to start the date. That is like, no. If you are really committed to your walk and to your healing yourself and being a better version of yourself and just getting ready to just leave your old self behind, don't date. It's probably the worst thing you can do. Because if anything, the enemy is going to use something in that to get you off of your game. Or it'll be just another excuse to just be distracted. And the distractions, you gotta, no. Pause dating. If you already do have a partner, just make sure that they really understand that you're going to change. You're not going to be the same woman that he always knew. If you're really serious about this transformation, you are not going to be the same person that they once met. So hopefully they are prepared to see a different version of you, and hopefully they are willing to elevate themselves as well. I think that's very key if you're going through a transformation, having a partner that is aligned with you, that is willing to transform with you. So I think communication, being transparent with your partner is very important. So in the spiritual aspect of my transformation, like I said, everything was going wrong that you can think to go wrong. And it was like, I remember just this one sunny October day, I think it was. I'm just like, man, I was still showing up for myself, you know, just still trying to come to work and promote and figure things out. Like you have to show up, just at least figure things out, even if everything's going wrong. You gotta show up. So I was on this, you know, this show up day, and I had a revelation, and it was confirming my dreams. And it was pretty much, the message that I got was pretty much that I was not in alignment. I was aligning myself with people, places, and things that was not conducive to my next level in my life. Okay? And I'll be writing the e-guide on this, and it'll be more specific in my e-guide, so, you know, stay tuned for that. I was in a space, because I was grieving, because I was in this transitional phase in my life, I didn't realize that I allowed certain entities into my life that did not align with my elevated version. So the woman that God wanted me to be and was pushing me to that level was not supposed to include particular things, people, and places, and energies. When you're going through your transformation, you are going to have to purge, right? Purge. You're going to have to purge. And I got that revelation in a dream, and I was like, whoa. So everything was going wrong because God was trying to get my attention. You are not in alignment. You are not obedient in this time. There are changes that you need to make that you don't realize you need to make. And you need to make them now. In order for you to see this next level in your life, you are going to have to make big changes. You have to be mindful on what you're spending your energy on. No mindful scrolling. Stop allowing people to suck the energy out of you. Stop allowing people to let them attach themselves to you. I had to really realize who I was, what I was bringing to the table, my value, really, really, truly having a high self-value. Like, you don't, especially as like, you know, if I go into some of my background as a teenager, a young girl, I didn't have the most high self-esteem. I told y'all I was looking to like video vixens and, you know, R&B and rap stars and videos and things like that to kind of define what confidence was, because I wanted to be that. So when you grow up trying to figure that out, you start to realize, even as an adult woman, like, hold on, is my actions aligning with my actual self-value? And if your actions is not on the same level as your self-value, you're not living in your truth. So when I really started to really look and expose myself, because this is all, like I said, it's personal. You're exposing yourself. This is not something you need to go to your friends to talk about. This is not, like, you have to be very private with this. It wasn't something that I'm sitting up, like, you have to expose you to you. And then once I really exposed myself to myself and really say, okay, are these actions aligning to someone who has a high self-value of themselves? And it didn't. And I had to realize there were some changes that I had to make. And once I showed God that, oh, I got it, I got the message, read receipts are on, I got it now. I started to see things come into alignment. I started to see things improve in my life, and small, but God was just showing me a peek of, once you get obedient, once you really listen, this is what I got for you. So through that last few months of 2023, I had to really say, okay, I had to really say goodbye to my old self. No more allowing people to attach themselves to me. No longer being too nice. No longer oversharing my energy. I had to really get out of that, because not everyone has good intentions. Not everyone is supposed to be a part of what God has for you. And it was a hard pill to swallow, but I swallowed it. So now we approach 2024. So right before New Year's Eve, I got sick. And no, I got sick on New Year's Day, actually. And it was something in my spirit that said, ooh, when you get better, this is what you're going to have to do. You're going to do this. And once I got it clear, this is when I know Spirit is talking to me, because this is a message that I need to come on. I'm sick. I'm not worried about doing anything but getting better. There was a voice in my inner self that said, when you get better, this is what you're going to do. And it was very authoritative. And that's when I know it's Spirit. And once you start to elevate and grow in your spiritual walk, you will know what I'm talking about, if you don't know yet. And that's when I knew, hold on, it's time. It's time. So right after these messages, we'll get into the details of that.
Ladies, we are back with the levels to luxuriating, and now we are on level 2. This is our equestrian robe. She is a full-length, luxurious experience. This is our very own print. Yes, you can only find this at S Desire brand. It's full length at 57 inches long. I am 5'3", just to give you an idea of how it will fall. And it has an inner waist high, outer waist high, and it has a matching scarf. Soft and luxurious, silky, sexy, multifunctional. So we have the classic sleeves, and so you can cook, you can clean, not too much cleaning, like a light clean moment, just a little straighten up moment. But this is definitely for a luxurious experience. So after you get out your bath, or you light your candles, you pour your wine, your tea, and you want to just relax, this is the road to do it in. Okay, ladies, so you can find this at CherelleDesire.com. It comes in small to 2X. So it comes in standard size, which is small to large, and then plus size, which is extra large, 2X. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and stay fabulous. Bye, ladies.
So I got this authoritative voice to stay away from sugar, meat, and alcohol. At first, I was not sure why those three particular items. Usually, I would do, New Year's. You want to do your little whatever, New Year's resolution, or whatever. And I would have stayed away from maybe alcohol, but would have still, was eating a little chicken or whatever. Probably would have did a minimal of sugar, but it was like, no, none of it. And I was like, okay, so I immediately, once I got better, within that first week of January, I went ahead and cut all sugar out, all the meat, no alcohol, like none. Didn't have nothing inkling for it. And I think after the first 30 days, I don't even know, it was, yeah, the first 30 days, it was the first week of February, I went to a networking event. And the day after that event, it probably was like the second day of February or something like that, I got ooh, I just started crying. And then I understood why God said, stay away from these three things, because I needed clarity. And so when I explained in the end of the year, I got the revelation that it was certain things that I needed to get into alignment and get into obedience. Um, so those things that I needed clarity on, I needed the clarity. I needed to do the cleanse to get the clarity. So I was just spiritually on this walk, not realizing that it was also going to change me. So all I remember is just crying one random Saturday. And then I went on my phone because I said, this is a message. I had got such a clear message. And I was grateful. All I remember is being grateful. And I got on my camera and I talked to the camera and I was emotional. And the gratitude was the first emotion that I felt. I was so grateful. First, I was grateful for the authoritative message that made me get on that cleanse. I was grateful for everything that I had, all my family, everything that I had. Even though things wasn't perfect, I was grateful for it. I just showed the gratitude. And I explained to my audience, like, hey, if you are feeling depressed, if you're feeling lost, it's time for you to fast. And when I tell you that fast helped open up areas into my mind and my spirit that was blocked previously, that I couldn't see, or I needed to see clearer or hear clearer. And that fast helped me. I swear that eliminating those three things, and I knew the sugar was addictive. They had an addictive energy attached to it. So I knew the sugar was going to immediately be, a plus. The meat goes through a slaughter phase. Meat carry a lot of energy that a lot of people don't realize. Even though it's dead and we're eating dead flesh when we eat it, it's an energetic link to it. It was once an animal, and should if you eat beef and like cows, they said cows are really like gentle animals, like nice and smart animals. Like to be just eating a cow is crazy. But those are energies that's sitting in that meat that when you digest it is actually affecting you as well. So if you have anxiety or depression, leave the meat alone for a while and see how you'll do. And then alcohol. Alcohol is, well, everybody know that's low vibrational. And seeing that I used to work at a bar, I do still work in the bar mixology industry. I know, especially being a bar, I don't do too much work in bars anymore. It's just too low vibrational for me. But when I did work in the bar, one of the things that I noticed that a lot of people that go to that bar, that went to that bar and was regular, they were very low vibrational. You could just see like the darkness in them just by looking in their eyes. Just seeing them sit at a bar all day, like nothing great was coming to those people. It was just a really like dark, low vibration that I was amongst, and I was in it to learn the business. But when you really started to see the type of the way they act, the way they talk, the way they look, you started to realize like this is really low vibrational, and the key component was alcohol. And then you just know alcohol, it does no benefit for the body. So even with me and doing my cocktail content and things like that, I always pulled back from it because I didn't want to be too obsessed with creating alcohol content and spreading, like, because alcohol at the end of the day is low vibrational. I love to do it socially once in a while, and here and there. I love the art of it for sure. I love the art of mixology, but with my being responsible with my influence in the community that I'm building, I didn't want to do too much of it, because I just know how low vibrational it is. And if someone is already, did we talking about mental health, or we're talking about elevating, we're talking about just evolving, Alcohol shouldn't be the key component to everything in life. You don't always have to go out and drink. Every brunch, you don't have to do the bottomless mimosas. You can still go and enjoy yourself at brunch with a good spritzer, a non-alcoholic spritzer. Like, I want to also promote that as well. So I always strayed away from pushing too much alcohol, but once I did my fast, it really all made sense. And God pushed me into that because it gave me the clarity that I needed to make the next move in my life so that I can elevate to the next level in my life, if that makes sense. So this was the spiritual block that I was starting to unwind and unravel. And once I got to that point, I started to realize there was a lot of things that I had to change and a lot of people I had to like let go of. And even in the midst of me getting into a higher space within myself where it was time to meet my counterpart, it was time to meet my partner, and sometimes you have to release certain things, people, and places in order to reach that next level of what God has waiting for you. So this was very much the largest part of my transformation was the spiritual aspect. And I would love to sit here and give y'all this whole big gym routine and a meal, what I eat in a day, and meal prep, all this stuff. I've done that before. I did that over 10 years ago. I get it. It can work. But if you're not really if you're not really tapped in spiritually, you will always lose yourself in the battle of whatever eating addiction you have, whatever emotional issue you have. You will always lose yourself in it. You'll be back to the point A of what you don't want to look like. And this was so important for me to share my story because I've been that girl chasing a certain size, and I've been that girl trying to overdo cardio and all these things to fit into a certain image that I felt like I was supposed to be. Until I really tapped into myself spiritually, and it wasn't so much about my size anymore. Once I tapped in spiritually and elevated spiritually, the weight just started falling off. I didn't have to go and get Ozempic. I didn't have to do all this crazy stuff. All this crazy stuff I see these girls doing, and I understand the struggle, so I don't judge. But when you really realize what the body does and how it works, all of the extra measures that I see women put themselves through and abusing their bodies to look like something, I'm telling you, it's 5 to 10 years, you'll be right back to that same old version of stuff that you don't like until you really tap in spiritually. Like just recently, I started to see videos of girls already making videos about how much weight they gained since they stopped taking Ozempic and any of those other weight loss shots. And even to this day, they still rather do a chemically uh, pushed weight loss option than actually doing the work. And I get it. I was a part of the pill epidemic, the diet pill epidemic. I get it. But it wasn't until I really tapped in spiritually where not only my diet would be different because then I did a diet of elimination. So now I understand that the foods that my body didn't like, my spirit didn't like, nor my mind didn't like. Those three things were all supposed to align. So, okay, the sugar is going to be making me fat. So I can't go to Starbucks and get those sugary drinks that everybody seems to want to enjoy. I'm immediately going to get fat. I'm immediately going to see inflammation in my body if I go to Starbucks every day like some of these girls. My body tells me, no, that's not what I want, and it's going to shut. Then my mind is not going to like that. Next thing you know, I'm having depression and anxiety episodes. I'm not stabilized. And then, so all spiritually, mentally, physically, it'll all show me what I don't want. So that's the diet of elimination, is understanding that your body, your mind, and your spirituality will tell you what it don't want. So sure, I can have a cocktail here and there, but you don't need to be having a cocktail every weekend. And you sure don't need to have cocktail every day. If you're the girl going having a glass of wine every time you get home from work and say, "Oh, wine is not bad," but your back is big, wine is not good. It's not good. It's not helping you spiritually. It's not helping you physically, and it sure ain't gonna help you mentally. Besides, you might feel a little buzz and go to sleep. But the damage that you're causing long term doesn't even equal out to what the benefits you think that is doing. So I have to be responsible to mention that. So what we feed our body is feeding our minds, is feeding our spirituality, is feeding our bodies. So the body is going to tell you this ain't it. Pay attention to what you're eating. You can put all types of chemicals in your body to trick your body, because all you're doing is tricking your body. You can trick your body and say, "Oh, this food don't spike my insulin. Oh, let me have it." Or you can trick your body to say, "I'm full," even though you're not full, and then you lose the weight and you're malnourished. Now you got bags and your skin is droopy and your body look deflated. Oh, because the medicine told you, you were full, but you weren't. I think a lot of us is malnourished. Like, you're overeating, but you're malnourished because you're not knowing what kind of food is really feeding your soul and feeding your body and really nourishing your body. You don't understand food. Like, these are the key components that a lot of us are missing because we're chasing vanity. And once I got out of that delusion, because I honestly, from the time I started in the gym in 2023, I didn't care no more. I didn't care. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm big up in this gym. I'm just gonna be big. I'm still gonna show up. I didn't care no more. I wanted to evolve. I wanted to elevate. I wanted to start where I needed to start. What I looked like at a size 10 when I was in high school taking diet pills, at the size I am at 12, a size 12 that I am at 40, I look better than I did when I was 17 on diet pills. Because I'm nourishing my body. I'm lifting weights. It was a time I didn't even want to go into the weight section of the gym. I was scared. I would just stay in the cardio section. That's where I felt like I needed to be. But then I'm in that weight section going crazy. Because now I'm really understanding how to feed my body and nourish my body and build my body. Build. You gotta build. Like, we want to lose weight. No, you want to lose fat. You want to have a shape. You want to have some muscles. When you get older, you need that. Like, we got to get out of this toxic diet culture, this just toxic way of living. And I feel like the only way to do that is to tap in spiritually. And no matter what religion you subscribe to, they all will have this way of thinking included in the lifestyle of that religion. It's important. If sometimes the overzealous workouts is not really for you, it could maybe better option for you just to walk. Like, because the workouts you think is going to get you fit faster is actually raising your cortisol levels, making you still look fat, and you're working out 5 times a week. Like, these are things that a lot of people don't talk about because all they made it seem like is calories in, calories out, and oh, you're not doing enough, and that has been embedded in a lot of women's minds, and it has kept them unhappy because they were taught in a more toxic way. And I'm here to tell you that no, once you tap in spiritually and you intuitively understand what your body needs and you understand your hormonal health, you can become the best version of yourself. And I wasn't looking to be Miss Skinny Mini. I'm looking to be strong. I'm looking to be I still want my curves. Like, I wanted to look healthy. I wanted to be confident, and I didn't want to look unhealthy. And when you're inflamed, that inflammation from the stress and from the eating the sugar and the meat and the things that your body do not want is going to look inflamed. It's pretty much like inflammation. Like, if you were to run into a wall and then you get swollen, your face gets swollen or something like that, or a bee stings you and you get swelling. That's what the body is doing when it's feeling abused. It's the same concept. So that is a big thing. So I'll be releasing an entire transformational guide so that we can get into specifics so that you can change your mindset and change your life. So thank you, ladies, so much for watching us here at Cocktails and Convo. We'll be coming up next with a new episode. I want you to comment below on whether or not you'll be starting your own transformation, and share this with a friend. Make sure you subscribe here, shop.SherrellDesire.com, and stay fabulous. Bye bye. Thank you.